I don't know what I'm saying. I'm saying a bunch of words, and I didn't think about them beforehand, which I really should have. So, hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Bean here, and today I'm coming at you with just a quick short little video, and I'm just going to do a summary of how NaNoWriMo went for me. So for those of you who don't know, I participated in NaNoWriMo, which is short for National Novel Writing Month. This year for 2020, I decided to start a brand new book, and I ended up writing over 50,000 words this month. Or last month, technically. So that's super exciting. Technically, what that means is I am a winner of NaNoWriMo. Yay! But what happened is I didn't finish. When I say didn't finish, I mean I didn't finish the book. All right, so basically what I wanted to come in and talk about today was the things that I have learned about myself as far as my writing goes, and then things I have learned about writing in general and the way that I go through it. My process. I've learned a lot about myself throughout this month, and I just wanted to touch on it a little bit. But first, let's do a quick little summary of how my month went. So, if I go to the NaNoWriMo website, it has me listed as being a winner, which is awesome. And by November 30th, I wrote 50,000, by the end of November 30th, I wrote 50,423 words. So that's pretty awesome. I got through the majority of my book. I was literally missing, 6 or 7 chapters that I hadn't started or hadn't finished really of my story, but I have written 10 of them already. So I do tend to overwrite a bit. So each of my chapters is between 4,000 and 6,000 words. So they are longer on the longer side, but that's just how I prefer to write it, and that's how I'm writing this book. My other novel that I'm working on, the chapters are quite a bit shorter. So it all depends on the story itself. Now, one of the big things that I learned about myself throughout this is that I can't force myself to write. Now, I can. I mean, I'm not saying I can't force myself physically, but I mean mentally. If I were to sit down and force myself to write on a day that I didn't want to, I'm going to get nothing done for the next several days. Whereas when I'm actually going to take the past 2 days, because it's a perfect example, is I ended up taking December 1st off writing. I did not write on December 1st. Instead, I caught up on some online, some personal things that I had kind of let slide throughout the month of November, mostly due to NaNoWriMo, and I was able to play around and figure out my iPad a bit because I haven't had an iPad Pro before, and since I was able to buy this one myself, I'm super excited. I'll get into that in another video. But I didn't write at all on December 1st, and then last night I sat down in front of a chapter that I have been struggling with for several days, and I sat down and I pumped out, how many words was it? Hold on. I sat down and I pumped out 4,371 words in one sitting. So if I give my brain that time to relax and that time to really just kind of think through what I want, I'm good, and I will get through it, and I will get written what I want to get written. And I think that's going to be one of the biggest things that I've learned about myself in this process. Another thing I have learned is that I am very much a pantster. So for those of you who don't know what a pantster is it's someone who writes by the seat of their pants, meaning they don't really plan things out. But I do find that I need to kind of have a general outline. I don't plot every single chapter. I just give, these are the main events that need to happen in the chapter. Go. Like, my chapters might be 5,000 words, but it's like, all right, well, she needs to meet this like my first chapter, she needs to move into a new place and we need to introduce her sister and her nephew and the landlady, and we need to introduce her neighbor. And so it's one of those where I knew what needed to happen in the chapter. I didn't know the order it was going to happen in or what was going to happen to make that happen. But as long as I have the general ideas of what needs to happen, I'm good to go. So that was kind of nice, because even what I wrote last night did not go in line with what I was thinking was going to happen. Honestly, it definitely has not gone the direction that I thought it would, but I'm really okay with that. You kind of hear authors talk about how they follow their characters around and they spend a lot of time arguing with their characters about what's actually happening, and the characters just look at the plot and go, huh, that's adorable. No. One of the ways that I know Callie and I see writing is we see it as my characters did this and I'm just writing up the incident reports. So it's really not in my control. It's in the control of the characters, of these voices, of how the story is flowing for me. But yeah, it's so much fun. It's so interesting to like be writing and then something happens and I go, oh, well, I guess that's a thing now. So the other big thing that I have noticed, because I am writing an urban fantasy novel, so there is magic involved in this story, but it does take place in a modern contemporary era, or a modern, like our world basically, but with magic. So that's pretty cool. One thing I have learned is that I'm still polishing the magic system, even as I'm 10 chapters into this book. And that's okay, because basically what I'm able to do then is that as things come up, I can be like, ooh, it'd be really cool. I could do this. And then so I got to go back and I got to adjust it. And the fact that I'm writing a mystery as well, and I know who did it in the end, I'm able to add in little hints throughout the story, and I am planning on making this into its own little universe kind of thing. So I'm also able to throw in these other characters that you might get glimpses of. You might only see them once or twice throughout this book, but then when I get the whole world together, there will be a lot more like it. So, or there will be stories that follow that character, or where that character is a much bigger player in someone else's narrative. So it's a whole world and it's a whole thing, and I'm very excited for it. For instance, I just discovered that one of my characters that I did not have as a magical being is a magical being. And I was like, oh, well, that's cool. And so, yeah, that's kind of my life now. But yeah, the one thing I did find for NaNoWriMo is I did not read this month. I think I listened to 1 or 2 audiobooks total, and that's it. I tried to read at night, but I found my head swimming with all the ideas that I've been jamming into it about this book, that I just wanted to get them out and get them down. I really struggled with sleep actually this month, because I did not sleep nearly as much as I should have. And if you want to see some of the things that I did throughout the month, go check out my vlogs on my personal channel. I have been putting up vlogs for weekly, and the 4th one is going to be coming out probably today. And I'm also doing daily vlogs for Vlogmas, which we are not doing here because COVID and we're far apart and we didn't want to have to try and deal with that. But since it's just me, myself, and I'm doing it. So that's cool. I have also realized that one of the things that really gets to me while I'm writing is that I might write something and think that it's absolute crap while I'm writing it, and then only to come back to it the next day and realize I can work with that. I know what I was trying to get at. I know what was supposed to happen, or I can just look at the scene and be like, nope, that's not gonna work. For instance, in the 2nd week of NaNoWriMo, I rewrote an entire chapter because suddenly that chapter became quite irrelevant and something else needed to happen in order for the plot to advance. So I kind of got my characters into a hole, into a ditch, and then they got stuck. And so I had to take out that chapter and they were able to continue, and it was good. But recognizing that, yes, I might really like some of the things that I'm writing, it doesn't matter all the time. It really, if it doesn't forward the plot of the novel, then it needs to go. And I had to come to terms with that, and that was a little bit difficult at times. As far as programs I used, the two main ones that I used were Notion, which is what I use to keep track of a lot of my stuff. A lot of my outlines are on there, initial ideas I have for books. And then the other program that I used, I actually found through the NaNoWriMo website, and that is Dabble. So I absolutely love Dabble. It is so much fun. It is so great to use. And one of the nice things about what it does is that it allows you to see how many words you've written towards the goal, towards your daily goal. And it let me know when I hit that daily goal for my NaNoWriMo goal. So that was kind of cool. How many times can I say the word goal in one sentence? But yeah, I really love how Dabble is set up. You're also able to keep track of the characters and a lot of the different places, as well as the plot and the major things in the plot that need to happen. So that was really cool. I really liked that. I always had some form of Google open because every once in a while I'd be like, I need to Google this. I need to know what the thing is. Like, I am writing a murder mystery. So it's a murder mystery urban fantasy novel. Because I can't make things easy, ever. So I'm super excited to share this book with you guys. My main character's name is Basil Green, so this is my Basil Green novel, is what I'm calling it. It is the first one. And yeah, I can't wait to continue this one. My plan is to finish this by the end of 2020. After that, I am going to give it 2 months before I go back and I do full round of edits and I start querying for an editor. See how that goes. I'm hoping that I'll be able to get probably 3 or 4 of my own edits in there, along with asking some of my friends and fellow writers to do some beta reading for me. So that would be really awesome. And I'd love to have it actually become a novel that I can hold in my hands, or that I can send to people and be like, here, look, I did a thing. You should check this out. You check out the thing that I did. Because this is such a joy, and participating in NaNoWriMo, while it was hard work at points, it has definitely solidified the idea that I want to be an author, a published author. I want to do this for a living. I want to do this with my life because I think that I am good at it, and I think that my stories could be a way to bring happiness around and bring ideas around and all of this kind of thing, because it makes me happy, and the people who have read this so far have been enjoying it. So I mean, I'm taking that as a good thing. So all right, that is what I have for you guys here today. If you have any questions concerning my writing or anything of this sort, feel free to comment down below or to head over to my personal channel. I do post a lot more about my writing over there, along with now daily vlogs for the month of December. So yeah, that's all I got for you guys here today. If you enjoyed this video, please, now is the perfect time to give us a thumbs up and to hit the subscribe button. We post videos every Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday. And if you want to be reminded whenever we post these videos, you can hit the little bell icon down below. As always, all of our contact information is down in the description box. And like I said, please ask any questions or feel free to talk down in the comments. We love to talk to people down there. So until next time, guys, I hope you stay safe, stay healthy, and keep reading. Bye!